Hey guys, it's Toby Morrison here. Welcome to today's question and answer video. I have lots of questions sent in, but this question is from Samantha, and Samantha says, "Hi Toby, I wake up every morning depressed that I'm still ill. Even though I know it will take time to recover, do you have any tips for this?" Now, before I give you my 2 cents worth, I just want to say I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a psychologist, so it would probably be wise if you're experiencing mental health issues to go and see a doctor. However, when Samantha says every morning I wake up feeling depressed, that doesn't mean it's depression, it just means it's an emotion. So what happens when we feel emotions, we feel a physiological response from that. So if I feel sad physiologically, I probably feel a bit lethargic, I feel flat, I don't feel excited, I don't have energy, and I feel kind of down and out. It's like almost like a deep rest, but like a heavy cloud comes over your entire being. However, if I was to feel excited and elated, then I'd have a lot more energy and would feel a lot better within myself. So let's just treat this as an emotional state that is the problem. And first of all, I just want to say that, it might be very normal and appropriate for you to feel depressed, because there's lots of emotions that you're probably trying to suppress because you don't want to feel them. So it's not so much an issue that you might be having days where you wake up feeling depressed. However, if it goes for a long period of time, like I said, it's probably best to go and see a specialist or someone who can help you with that and you can talk through it. This is the thing though. When something doesn't go your way or you don't have what you want, automatically you're going to feel turmoil within yourself. So if I'm constantly wanting something that I don't have, then that's pushing me further away from my dream, from my reality to what I want. And it's making my situation worse if I see it like that. And I actually had a girl come and see me once, and she was saying, I can't do this, I'm not better, I'm feeling sick, and she was so depressed and so down and out. And she reached out for me for help, and I said to her, listen, yes, your situation sucks. It's not what you want it to be right now. However, we have two options. We can sit in the mud and we can sit and stay in the crap and self-pity and why me and ask all these terrible questions and also, statements that don't make us feel good. Or we can do what we can with what we have. And this lady took it on board. And it wasn't overnight, but over a period of time, she started to shift. She started to shift her perspective, her awareness to what can't I do to what can I do. And for this lady, it was very minimal. It was very, very minimal. She wasn't well at all. Now, this lady started with 5 cans. What can I do? I can sit up, I can open my eyes, I can breathe, I can brush my teeth, I can shower once a week. Things that most people take for granted. She was writing down on a piece of paper, what can I do? Now this shifted her awareness and her focus from why me, everything I can't do, to this has happened, I'm accepting the situation, but I'm not resigning to the fact that I want to improve my life. What can I do right now to help myself? Within 3 months of her changing that awareness and perspective and actually doing what she needed to do to help herself get better physiologically, mentally, emotionally, nutritionally, she improved dramatically, and even now she's a lot better than what she was before. So it's not a matter of getting rid of negative thoughts or even negative feelings, because sometimes it's appropriate to mourn and suffer and feel the pain that you're experiencing. However, I guess we have to get to that point in time where we, like Samantha's reached out and said, you know what, I'm sick of this. I don't want to feel this way anymore. So there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing you can do when you're feeling this way is obviously write down what you're grateful for. And it sounds a bit stupid and it sounds almost too easy, but sometimes it's the simplest things that you can write down. Now I'm going to take this one step further. Rather than write down what you're grateful for, what I want you to do is actually write down the benefits to your drawback. And this is something from Dr. John DiMartini, who works with a lot of people in their emotional mental health. And the idea is that a lot of the time it's not the situation that is the problem, it's our perspective on the situation that can cause more suffering than good. So Dr. John DiMartini says, if we're feeling unbalanced in our perceptions, so we're perceiving way more drawbacks than benefits, then we need to get that back to balance so we can move forward without carrying a heavy load on our backs. Okay? How to do that? If you're perceiving way more drawbacks than benefits, then you need to consciously actually sit down and write down the benefits to what has happened and what is happening in your life right now. And it can be to do with anything. Whilst your health might not be great, it may have brought you closer to your own self and your own spirituality. You may have learnt wisdom along the way. You may have been drawn to good friendships. You may have got rid of bad friendships. You may have become closer with your family members. You may have a pet now that you like. There might be things that you're discovering about yourself that you didn't discover before. This is a really good way to balance out those perceptions and realize that it's not all doom and gloom. You have to try it for yourself, and a lot of people go, oh no, it's not going to work, but when you actually write it down, you don't have to do this all the time, but it's only when it becomes a problem for you that you do so, and balancing those perceptions, like I said, can be really good. And thirdly is, rather than thinking about it all the time, sometimes it's best to get out of our heads. Ask the question, what would I do if I weren't having these thoughts? If I weren't having these beliefs, what would I just do anyway? And when you figure that out, you'll realize that you'll start to do some practical stuff that will help you get out of your situation and feel better. Now, there's a hell of a lot of stuff that comes with emotional mental well-being. It comes from sleep, lack of quality nutrition, lack of movement and restorative movement, a lack of purpose, lack of, there's so much stuff. It can be, unbalanced perceptions. It can be, it could be something within the brain where there's a chemical imbalance. And that's why it's important to seek the right help. So, like I said before, take what I say with a grain of salt. It is a very common thing to experience as a secondary response from having chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and things like that. I know there's so many people who are frustrated because they're not living the life that they would love to live. And I totally get that and understand that. But like I said, I guess it comes back down to the question, is this